massive revenue growth organically obtained, is how I would say it. I think we're running maybe 5x growth over last year, plus or minus. So it was a huge year for us last year, refined all elements of the company. And this year, i.e., within the next few months, 4 months potentially, we become operationally profitable.
Hey everybody, welcome back to SmallCapVoice.com for another online business briefing, and I'm super excited about this company. As I've said before, and if you just watched our safety summit, I am a longtime investor in Knightscope. I found the company during COVID, which was a great time to discover a company like Knightscope, traded on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol KSCP. I think this next company is going to be just another great opportunity for me to share with you, our viewers and listeners, for a lot of the same reasons why I liked Knightscope. Knightscope has their security robots. We're going to learn so much more about this company today, which is Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions Incorporated. They're traded under the ticker symbol AITX. Let me read a couple of things for you. Here's a headline that just came out by the company. RAD-R joins the AITX family of wholly owned subsidiaries alongside RAD-I, RAD-M, which are Robotic Assistance Devices Mobile Incorporated, and RAD-G, which is Robotic Assistance Devices Group Incorporated, making a significant milestone in AITX's continued growth and innovation in AI-driven security solutions. So there we go again, AI-driven security solutions. There is the corollary between Knightscope. I'm excited to welcome to the show in just a moment, Steve Reinharz, the CEO of AITX. But before I do that, you got to know this company's just like Knightscope in the sense that they're a media darling as well. I love this headline, and we're going to learn more about the Rad Dog, but here's the headline. Rad Dog, the robot dog from AITX Rad, continues its media blitz with an exciting appearance on CSI, Vegas. That is big and very cool news for your company. Steve, welcome to the show. Thanks for making time for us here at Small Cap Voice. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, Stuart, and I'm so happy to be on the show. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. I really laid the foundation of why we're interested in your company. I'm so glad I have a team here at Small Cap Voice. One of them fell head over heels over the Rad Dog press release that came out a couple of weeks ago. We've been trying to reach you since then. You know, we had our safety summit. We love to get you on our next one because, again, your company, it really fits into what we're looking for here at smallcapvoice.com, something that's going to be good for our portfolio, but also assist us as a society as whole. So really good for the portfolio, good for the soul. Tell us about your business model and the markets that you operate in now, Steve.
Very happy to. Sure. So what we're looking at right now from the highest level is we're looking at a bit of a transformation in a lot of parts of society that's called the fourth industrial revolution. So we're moving from the third into the fourth, and revolutions have a lot of conflict and strife and change. And so the first thing that I want to say is, applause to you and your team for identifying these new gen companies, because these companies are the companies that winners will emerge from the pool of companies that are working on it. But these are the companies that are hopefully the next Amazons, the next Microsofts, because of how we're looking at the fourth industrial revolution, understanding it, and then bringing solutions to harness it. So really what we're doing is quite simple. We're creating today, I'd say we've created and we continue to create a line of stationary and mobile devices that perform human-like work at various degrees of intelligence. So that basically means a lot of security guard functions we're bringing autonomy to, a lot of facility management functions we're bringing autonomy to, and that's the future. The future is very close, i.e. happening now, and it involves machines interacting with humans way more than even 6 months ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Bill Lee, CEO of Knightscope, was said just right there. And it's not a matter of when, or excuse me, if. It's not a matter of if or when. It's here. It's right now. So it is already here, and it's not down the line. It is already here. So Steve, what brought you to this point? You're our guest today. You are also the president of the company. Tell us a little bit about, what brought you here today, and also some of the other key members that are on your team as well. And I'm sorry, you're the CEO of AITX, not the president. Sorry about that, Steve.
No, that's okay. I mean, one of the things at RAD is that titles are not overly important. But for the sake of the webinar, I'm the founder, the CEO, and the CTO. And what brought me here is some unknown attraction to AI that started as a teen and accumulated with me writing a book on AI when I was 19 years old. So now, after 8 years of building and running this company, we're at a point where we have the technology to execute this vision of the fourth industrial revolution. So I've been building towards this my entire life, from the technology side, leadership skills, fundraising skills, communication skills, all those things. So I feel exactly doing what I should be doing. And we've built a pretty cool team around us. And every member of our team has a great amount of depth and experience and capabilities. But there's one that I'll mention just because I think he has maybe among the more fascinating backgrounds that we have, and that is Troy McKenna. Troy, in addition to being our chief security officer and our chief of revenue, basically, is an ex-FBI agent. So 23 years as an agent. So he'd be the guy, either in tactical outfit or, knocking down doors, picking up the bad guys and doing that kind of work. And he finished his career running all the tactical groups in Michigan and Ohio, running about 200 tactical agents across those two states. So fascinating guy, fascinating stories. And his transition from public service to private service has been just tremendous. So anyway, and that's just one story of the depth of member that we have on our team.
Yeah, I've looked at your team. It's a great team. Listeners, I gave you the ticker symbol. That's really all you need to have. And I know I say this every time, but I will go ahead and let you know, if you dig into that press release, you're going to find links to their Rad Dog YouTube channel. You're going to find links to their websites, which gives the investors a really good deep dive into this company. So Steve, as you look back on this year, 2024, but even further back into 2023, the landscape of achievements by your company, what stands out to you as a major milestone?
Massive revenue growth organically obtained is how I would say it. I think we're running maybe 5x growth over last year, plus or minus. So it was a huge year for us last year. We refined all elements of the company. And this year, i.e. within the next few months, 4 months potentially, we become operationally profitable, which is a tremendous milestone, number one, for any company. But number two, it's even harder for tech companies because tech companies have such a large capital upfront cost, plus in general, a large support team to maintain the tech. So it's a higher bar to hit. And what also makes it difficult is being the largest single shareholder in the company, plus having, full operating control through separate class of shares. It raises more obstacles and challenges to get to the point that we're at. So it's absolutely thrilling that this year we forecast this in no uncertain terms. So we're looking for a huge year of growth. We've got some new products coming out. As you mentioned, we announced Rad R today, the day of recording, which is April the 3rd. And we're having fun. We're having fun. It's a blast now. After years of hard work and a lot of tears and pain, we're starting to have some fun.
Yeah, and again, I mean, even your press releases are fun. The headlines are fun. You dive into the body of the press release. It's a fun company to learn up about. And let's be honest, nobody's investing for fun. We're investing for profits. We're investing for ROI, but we're all looking for that ground floor opportunity. And like you just said, we want to be proactive in our approach of who we speak to and the companies we shine a spotlight with our online business briefing. And one thing, again, I said this at the beginning, it's one thing to be a media darling, but it jumps off the page how much news you've put out this year. And I can't find fluff in it. Okay. I'm looking at things like record number of devices in February. I'm looking at a CEO that's transparent doing an Ask Me Anything, which is not easy. I've hosted them. I'm going to tell people that don't know anything about an Ask Me Anything, they can go all over the place. Okay. Your subsidiary surpasses 400 units in I mean, there's just one headline after another. So with that as the backstop, let's look forward then. 2024, operationally speaking, Steve, what do you see as some of the things that you want to see on the corporate side that the company achieve this year?
Absolutely. Without a doubt, the primary focus is achieving operational profitability. That is the overall focus. Now, behind that, though, there are so many initiatives happening. So I'll give you an example. We're transitioning from our very successful ROSA 3 architecture and framework into ROSA 4. And since you're a tech guy, I'll share with you what that means. We're moving from the Intel Windows architecture into the NVIDIA Ubuntu architecture. We've been working on it for almost a year and a half. So that's a big transition that we're happening. We're coming out with our Rio Generation 4, which we're going to be producing 1,000 units of. We're coming up with changes to Ava. We're in the early stages of 100 Rad Dog law enforcement version production run. We've got progress on Romeo. We've got progress on Rad Dog 3S. We have Rad R coming out with a product that I'll be announcing later as well. So, man, oh man, I got to tell you, I am fueled by this team that, shares often unhealthy workaholic type of habits, and we're proud of it, and our team is proud of it. I don't talk work-life balance. I talk work-work balance. And certainly a lot of these concepts that I have might be considered a little bit old school and not modern, but the reality is hard work pays off. And me, as a representative of our company, will tell you that our team works incredibly hard, is incredibly overburdened, and I'm really proud of them. So this is going to be a big year for us. Last year was a big year for rev growth. This year, a big year for rev growth, profitability, new product launches. Like I said, this is a land grab. Actually, I didn't say it yet, but this is a land grab for the fourth industrial revolution. You've got Nightscope carving out some market for them. You've got Cobalt carving out some market. You've got AITX with a vision, and hopefully AITX being the first to operational profitability in the group. So just wild, wild.
And that's a major milestone right there. And I love, of course, being in a long-term NVIDIA shareholder as well. I love that you're switching over from Intel to them. But, I always ask this question, but I don't know that there's anything left on the table for you to say because you've said so much in this regard. If you had a moment to say to a potential investor, what is it about AITX? Well, to me, just to sum it back up, it's the work ethic of the team. It's the forward-looking, progressive thought process of the team. It is the products reinventing themselves, redeveloping and refining themselves. But, I don't want to take the words out of your mouth. If you were to say, hey, this is my moment to speak to my existing shareholders and potential shareholders, what say you, Steve, as the CEO?
Stuart, I would say that you summed it up. I would say that you perfectly did that because that's what it is. It's about hard work. And just to kind of repeat what you said, it's about hard work. It's about vision. It's about having a team. And when you look at famous teams, famous successful teams, this is what you have. You don't have Steve Jobs running around, saying, oh, yeah, no, go do what you have to do. No, you have grinding work to do that you need to power through. You look at Jeff Bezos, you look at, the guys who I think are icons in our industry, of course, Gates and Buffett and these guys, it's about hard work and vision and being true to it and being true to yourselves along the way. And that's why I say to myself and I say to our team, you might get a kick out of this, Stuart. I say, these are the good old days. These are the days that you'll look back at later on in your career and your life, and you'll see, hey, I had a team, I had transparency, I had a mission, I had vision, I had success. So these are the good old days.
Well said, Steve. And just so appreciate your time here today on SmallCapVoice.com. Thanks so much for coming on, Steve.
Hey, Stuart, listen, I got to say one thing before we go, rather two things before we go. The first thing is thank you for doing the research, knowing the space, and being able to ask the questions that, got the answers out to your listeners and our viewers as well. So thank you for that. The second thing I want to say is I enjoyed our time and I appreciate the work that you put into it. And I look forward to our next one, Stuart. This isn't the end of us talking on the air.
Just like Bill Lee, it's just the beginning, Steve. I feel it. I'm not going to take a tired Humphrey Bogart line, but I concur. I can't wait till our next interview with you. Congratulations on everything you and your entire team have built so far. We look forward to speaking with you again in the near future. Listeners, viewers, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, make sure you give us your comments for this next interview that Steve and I just discussed right here. It's coming up, so let's get your questions in front of the CEO. That's Steve Reinharz. For Steve, this is Stuart saying thanks so much for tuning in.